Sony had a great E3 press conference and they followed it up with an excellent Paris Games Week, and now they're rounding out the year with their yearly PlayStation Experience. In this video, we want to take a look at 10 big games that we want to see at PlayStation Experience, so let's get right into this. The new FromSoftware game. We've wanted to see what FromSoftware has been working on for a while. We know they rounded out the Dark Souls series with Dark Souls 3. They released Bloodborne back in 2015, and ever since then, they've been relatively quiet. What could they be working on? We know that a new Armored Core is in the works, but outside of that, do we have a Bloodborne 2? A brand new intellectual property? FromSoftware is such a talented studio, and after the Souls series, and they've really gained the recognition of being one of the better studios in the gaming world. So at this point, we always want to know what they're working on. If we see more footage of that aforementioned Armored Core game, that would be great too. That's a franchise that hasn't seen the love that it really deserves, and hopefully now with the credibility that they do have, releasing another Armored Core game will get that kind of recognition. But yeah, whatever the case may be, we want to see something new from FromSoftware. Death Stranding. Death Stranding is the latest game from Hideo Kojima, and when you say the name Hideo Kojima, instantly you think of Metal Gear Solid, instantly you think of Konami, and all the controversy between Hideo Kojima and Konami has been well publicized, so let's just leave that in the past. That chapter is done with, and the new chapter is Death Stranding, a game that's being published by Sony, and they're working hand in hand with Kojima's studio, so it'll be very interesting to see how this new IP turns out. While we're starting to get hints and ideas of what this game could be about, we want to see some actual gameplay of Death Stranding. The release for the game is unfortunately still a far way out. Rumors have gone around for a 2019 release, and considering that how much time Kojima takes with making his games perfection, you know he's gonna take as long as he needs to deliver that kind of storytelling and world building that he's known for, and that takes a long time to really get down. But we just want to learn more about Death Stranding. Left Alive. Speaking of Kojima and Metal Gear Solid, Left Alive is a game that a lot of gamers have drawn resemblance to Metal Gear Solid, and how could you not? Based on the debut trailer, it definitely gives you a little bit of Metal Gear Solid vibes. Left Alive is set in the Front Mission universe, and that's very interesting. Front Mission definitely isn't the most recognizable franchise in the world, but Square Enix's Left Alive certainly has a type of anticipation that Front Mission never had. This is another game that we don't know much about, and it is set for a 2018 release, so around the time of PlayStation Experience should be when we start learning more and more about Left Alive, seeing some gameplay. Hopefully that comes at PSX. Ni no Kuni 2 Revenant Kingdom. Ni no Kuni 2 is the follow-up to Ni no Kuni, which was one of the best PlayStation 3 games, arguably among the top 10 or even 5 PlayStation 3 games. It was just a fantastic Japanese RPG, and now Level 5 is back with Ni no Kuni 2 Revenant Kingdom, and the release for the game is actually pretty close. It's releasing in January, but to really hype up the game and roll the anticipation level to a 10, a lengthy gameplay demo showing off some of the game's scenery, soundtrack, battle mechanics, that would be very nice. We know that Ni no Kuni 2 is a game that targets more of a niche audience, but hey, that type of audience is exactly the ones that are going to be watching PSX, so why not reward them with a new gameplay demo of Ni no Kuni 2?
It's nothing personal. You were just in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Here it is, Evan.
My dearest friend.
Evan.
Days Gone. Days Gone is one of these games that seems to be coming along very nicely. It's the latest game by Sony Bend, and we saw gameplay at E3 of 2016, E3 of 2017. Information about the game has been rolling out very nicely, and it looks like it's coming along very nicely. Sony Bend is an incredibly talented studio, and they're a studio that hasn't gotten the recognition they deserve. They worked on Siphon Filter and some other underrated games such as Resistance Retribution on the PSP and Uncharted Golden Abyss, the latter two being excellent games. And Days Gone is Sony Bend's attempt in creating a marquee AAA intellectual property, and it looks like it's developing to become that. It would be very nice if at PSX we got a release date for Days Gone. This is a game that I very much expect to release in 2018. To get a window would be very nice. Hopefully we see that happening at PSX.
Easy, fellas.
Ghost of Tsushima. One of the most pleasantly surprising announcements was Sucker Punch's brand new game, Ghost of Tsushima. We knew at some point soon we were going to be seeing Sucker Punch's new game. That wasn't the surprise, but what they were working on, Ghost of Tsushima, an open world action game set in feudal Japan. It's a very interesting title and far different than what Sucker Punch has previously created, but Sucker Punch always changes it up. They did Sly Cooper, and then after that they worked on Infamous. Those two games are very different, and now they're changing it up again with Ghost of Tsushima, and it'll be very interesting to see how this game turns out. I'd love to see some gameplay. Hopefully this is another big marquee 2018 title for the PlayStation 4, and this could be a fantastic game. Sucker Punch, again, incredibly talented studio, and they always put out killer products, and I expect Ghost of Tsushima to be no different.
Language. Your traditions. Your beliefs. Which villages to tame and which to burn? So I'll ask you once again, Samurai. Do you surrender?
Dreams. Dreams is a sandbox game being developed by Media Molecule. Again, another very talented studio. If you don't know who Media Molecule are, those are the guys behind the excellent Little Big Planet games. Little Big Planet 1 and 2 were terrific games. And in Dreams, you control an imp which is used to interact with the game's world, create new items and characters, and manipulate objects by grabbing and pulling them. Media Molecule is known for creating very unique and very artistic games. Initially, prior to release, a game like Little Big Planet, yes, it's very charming, but few expected it to be as amazing as it was, and Dreams is very similar in the sense that it'll have a big focus on user-generated content, which seems to be a Media Molecule strength. This is a game that we still don't know much about. It'd be very nice to see more content of Dreams, maybe get a 2018 release window. That'd be very nice, and hopefully we see that at PSX. Red Dead Redemption 2. Red Dead Redemption 2 is one of the highly anticipated games coming in 2018. Rockstar did a phenomenal job with the first Red Dead Redemption game, and a lot of gamers consider that to be the best game of last generation. It was that good, and right away, because of the foundation Rockstar set with Red Dead Redemption, right off the bat with the announcement of Red Dead Redemption 2 only getting a CG trailer, gamers were stoked. This instantly became one of the highly anticipated games, and to this point, we still don't know too much about it. We know it's going to be an open open world western epic, and now 7 years after the release of Red Dead Redemption 2, we have new consoles. We've seen what Rockstar did with Grand Theft Auto 5, and remember, that was a game that was built for the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox. RDR2 is going to be built ground up for the PS4, so we want to know how this game is going to look on the PlayStation 4. It'll probably be tremendous. It was originally scheduled for a release this year, but it was delayed into 2018. Maybe a release window or a release date, that'd be very nice. Kingdom Hearts 3. We've been talking about Kingdom Hearts 3 ever since the release of Kingdom Hearts 2, and years would go by and no announcement until E3 of 2013, where Kingdom Hearts 3 was finally announced, but it wasn't Square Enix's priority. Square Enix's priority at that time was releasing Final Fantasy 15. Now that Final Fantasy 15 is out, their focus has completely shifted to Kingdom Hearts 3, and it looks like the game will finally be released in 2018. And steadily, we've been seeing more footage of Kingdom Hearts 3 come out. We know it's going to be a fantastic Japanese RPG, and given how long we've waited, with the release coming next year, it's about time we start seeing more and more lengthy gameplay demos. Let's hope they get the train rolling at PSX, and maybe we can even see a release window or a release date. That would be very nice, but I'm not holding out hope for that. Let's just see some gameplay. And finally, the Final Fantasy VII Remake. Another long-wanted Square Enix product is the Final Fantasy VII Remake, and the Final Fantasy VII Remake right now seems to be in the position that Kingdom Hearts 3 was when Final Fantasy 15 was in development, where yes, the Final Fantasy VII Remake is being worked on, but Square Enix's priority right now is releasing Kingdom Hearts 3, as it should be. But the Final Fantasy VII Remake was announced over 2 years ago at E3 of 2015. We saw some gameplay at that year's PlayStation experience, but since then, it has been completely dry. We've heard nothing about the game outside of it being an episodic release. We haven't seen any new footage. Now is the time that we finally see, even if it's a short trailer, we need to see something new of Final Fantasy VII Remake. Remind us why we're so excited for the game, because it has been over 2 years since the announcement of the game, and originally we got a lot of information, but since then, completely dry. Let's change that at PSX.
Get back here!
So that wraps up 10 big games that we want to see at Sony's PlayStation experience. What do you think? Which games are you looking to see at the big show? Let us know in the comments section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.